The film is a contemporary drama. It takes place in the fictional village of Guroka in 2001. The story begins with the return of Franciszek Kalina, Ireneusz Zop, to his hometown in rural Poland after having lived in Chicago for 2 decades. He learns that his brother Joseph, Maciej Stur, is shunned by the community for acquiring and displaying on his farmland dozens of Jewish tombstones which he discovered had been used by German occupying forces as paving stones in a now abandoned road. Joseph is gathering the tombstones everywhere in the settlement and moves them into his own field to survive from oblivion, against the growing opposition of the town residents. The Kalina brothers attempt to learn more about what happened to the Jews of the village. Their personal relationship, harsh after the brothers met, warms and becomes more cooperative after they both find themselves opposed by the whole village. The older priest blesses the brother and urges him to continue gathering the tombstones while the new one, to head the parish soon, displays no sympathy for Jews. Franciszek discovers in a local archive that his father along with other men of the village got the land that had been owned by Jews before the war. He is eager to study the truth. After speaking to some of the oldest residents in the village, the brothers subsequently realize that half the residents of the village murdered the other half, led by a neighbor and their father Stanislaw Kalina. This discovery results in a terrible fight and split between the brothers after a dispute about the bones of the Jews they found the night before. After learning that their own father was directly involved in the murder of the Jews who were burned to death in the family's former house, the brothers' roles are reversed. Now it is Joseph who wants to keep the truth from coming out to the world, while Franciszek wants the world to know the truth and for the bones of the murdered Jews to be taken to their wheat field and buried with their headstones, so as to not compound the terrible sins of their father and neighbors. In a fight, Franciszek comes close to killing his brother Joseph. But Franciszek stops himself, puts the axe down and leaves the village by bus to go back to America. But he is returned to the village by a hospital nurse, Dr. the daughter of one of the oldest surviving neighbors who had known the truth but kept it secret, only to see his brother Joseph beaten, stabbed, and then nailed high on the inside of the barn door, his arms outstretched, his wrists and feet held by wooden cleats. The movie ends with a scene of a group of young and older Israeli Jews being led by an Orthodox rabbi reciting the Kaddish, the Jewish prayer in memory of the dead, in front of a formal memorial stone, at the now restored cemetery in the area of the stones that Joseph had placed in his fields. While Franciszek watches with respect, lights a candle, leaves it on one of the tombstones and nodding slightly to the scene, turns and walks away.